see it, say it, believe it, yeah. See it, say it, believe it, yeah. See it, say it, believe it, yeah.
Thank you for tuning in. We are Tristin and Michael, and you are listening to Fuse Transparent Conversations for Marriage, Family, and Relationships. We invite you to join us as we discuss perspectives that are thought about but not talked about. Tell your friends and your family to come check us out. Connect with us on social media and join the conversation by emailing us at info@fusedmarriages.com. All right, Michael, so what are we talking about today?
All right. Welcome. Well, today we're going to dig into something today.
All right.
It may be controversial. It may be somebody's norm. We don't know, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to talk about, can male and females be friends? Just, platonic friends.
Mm-hmm.
Even in a relationship, they can still have outside, people that are connected to them of the opposite sex. Is that possible?
So what you think?
Well. So you know what? First and foremost, so it's a difficult thing to kind of really navigate when you have a relationship and you're going to have somebody of the opposite sex. That's going to be a friend. That's my first initial thought about it.
Okay.
But there's some like dynamics that could come with that, right? You can have somebody that's been a friend, a female friend, in my case, for a long time. And then, what does that look like? And what about the person that, that was like, we never really dated, but we kind of like, talked a little bit, maybe text a little bit. Hold on.
We got to dig into this a little
bit. Tell me what you're talking about.
I know there's some people out there that might be really dealing with this situation.
True.
There's some people that could be dealing with some insecurity that comes, or people overstepping their bounds. So let's dig into that first one. You said people that might have been around for a long time. So does the length of time matter for a male-female friendship, quote unquote?
Well, I guess, you know what, if you're looking at it from a length of time, I think it's tough. I don't think it's like a clear-cut answer to it. I think there's a way to navigate around it, but I don't think it's like a clear-cut yes or no. Because what if somebody's been friends with somebody for 20 years and you meet somebody and y'all only know each other for maybe a few months, this, that, and the other, and they want you to cut that 20-year relationship off. And it's the opposite sex person. So should that person cut them off? Or should they kind of like have a discussion about it? What does that look like from your standpoint?
I think it matters that what kind of relationship it is. Because you might have been friends with somebody 20 years, but you could say, oh, well, we kind of dated back in high school, but, it was not a thing. Or we dated when we were in college, or we tried it out, There are different things that could happen within that 20-year period. So for Tristin, I don't know about the rest of y'all out there, I'm going to need to know what happened within that relationship. And if it's been, hey, we just kicked it. She was friends of our friends. We had a friend group. I don't know if that matters, but if it's like, man, this is the person I've been bearing my soul to for the past 20 years. And, we've been praying together, and, she would come over. We just kind of watch movies and hang out. I'm going to wonder. I'm going to wonder a little bit like, okay, have you been stringing her along and she just never said anything? She's been hoping that something else could be there, because then that's also going to change the dynamics of how they relate to your current boo.
That's true. That's true.
Like, because they're going to be looking side eye. Well, I know him. I know who they are. I know what they like. And then that can make, your person feel a little uncomfortable.
Okay.
So there's some dynamics there. And then also, and this is another piece to that. Depending on how close they've been to you over this course of this time, your family might also relate to your new person a little differently, because your mom might be like, oh, I knew they were going to be the one, or your sister or your brother might be like, man, I just love them. Why don't you hook up with them? What's wrong with them?
Right.
And then this new person's going to just be feeling insecure and uncomfortable. So I think that's something to think about. And then also the person that has been a friend, if it's been, just platonic, how are they going to receive your new female friend? Are they going to be best friends with her? Oh my gosh. And I'm just talking from the female perspective. This whole thing could be flipped. But if they're going to be like, oh, wow, I'm so glad to meet you, and like actually be sincere, or are they going to be kind of conniving, or I don't like her? All of that can play into the relationship. And I think priority number one has to be the person that you're saying you want to be with. And with that, there has to be, like real commitment there. I don't know that I would throw away a friend for 20 years for somebody I've been seeing for like a month and hoping like, maybe.
That makes sense.
But if you're like saying, okay, this is, I've really been thinking about this. I've been praying about this. I've been contemplating this. I want to go farther in this relationship. At that point, then you might have to reevaluate how closely, at least in my opinion, you keep some of your opposite sex friends. We want to hear from y'all though, so y'all let us know what y'all think. Because I've also heard some people say, "Oh well, that's insecure. You can't have no friends," or dudes, "Oh, that can't be a friend.
That will
I
be
can't
said.
be a friend."
That will be said.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's been said.
Right.
You know, you can't have your friends. Oh, your new boo not gonna let you have any dude friends. I personally have heard that. Like, oh wow, okay. You know, I don't know. I think that's kind of disrespectful.
I see your point on that. I think in this case, particularly when you're talking about male and female, some guys are like naive about it, and probably most guys
are
naive about it. So like, we always kind of had that peripheral. I call it the peripheral kind of like. I can call somebody. We can go hang out. We can go to the movies.
Y'all can't go to the movies.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, a lot of guys we have that, right? Because most of us ain't gonna be sitting at home just like doing nothing.
Not us either,
right? But
we want to go
typically,
out to eat.
But typically when women do that, y'all are like really kind of like, okay, there may be some interest in there, and the guy may kind of know that. Y'all not gonna like even put him in the casual aspect of it, unless you know what I mean. Like you've been around for a minute, it could be the case. But most guys can do that and like. Not even see that the fact that the female is really kind of digging them a little bit.
Yeah.
Right. So then they end up getting in a relationship with somebody that they're trying to get serious with. Then they had this girl over here, you know what I mean? They're just kind of like, oh, just, you know, I just call every now and again. Like you said, we shoot emails back and forth to text.
Emails.
Huh?
Yeah, I feel you. Go ahead.
Shoot emails. Yeah. So like, it's like, and then the guy ends up being like, okay, what's the deal? Because he's just naive of the aspect of his friend. Of this
Quote,
female perspective is like she really trying to like just, you know, she's waiting them out maybe.
Yeah.
And guys for like, you know, I mean, in my case, I probably fell in that bucket a time or two. Just somebody, you know what, you ain't been physical with them in no kind of shape, form, or fashion. It's really been from your mind perspective, like, hey, they just really just cool. And it's somebody, you know, it's really a nice person. But they may be kind of having a different idea of really how they see you, right? They may say, oh, that's a good, that's a good dude.
Too. Oh, he nice. He
right,
cute.
right.
We're going to the movies.
Right.
He's buying my food. I'm telling you, food is a big deal. Take me out.
Oh, it's like that?
I'm just saying, it's important. It's not a day if we don't eat. I'm just saying. If we eat, we going together.
You didn't tell me that before. So every time we go on a date, y'all, hey, I can do whatever during the day. We getting off topic just a little bit for a second. I can go do whatever for a date. We can go to a show. I can have a picnic basket. But
there's no food in it?
Yeah, but then the picnic could be just for the experience, right? Not necessarily like a full-out meal.
What kind of experience is a picnic without food?
It's outside.
No.
We just enjoying the nature and kind of connecting on a new. Okay, anyway.
Look, I gotta eat, y'all.
Anyway, but my woman, we got to go out to eat. There's a little something I gotta feed her. Then she, okay, you know what? You get credit for that.
Yeah,
that's a date.
I
don't get credit. I don't get credit with it otherwise.
I need to eat, and most women do. So if you take a woman out to eat,
it's so true. Y'all
she's
even
thinking
know.
it is a date.
Y'all
I'm telling you,
true it is.
She's thinking it's a date, and that's what a lot of these chicks, you know, you going out with. Oh, we just friends. If y'all going out to nice restaurants, y'all not going out to get like a burger or a sandwich. Oh man, I want to check out this new spot. She thinking it's a date. If she has to put on some shoes and some heels and put on some lip gloss, it's a date. I'm just letting you know.
All right. Back on topic.
That is the topic. So she thinking you say she's just a friend. She thinking she more than a friend because you taking her out to a nice restaurant.
Okay.
And you just trying to check it out.
I feel you.
I'm saying that's how these women kind of get confused. Us women, not just these women, us. We can get confused if you just thinking, you know, we in the friend category and we thinking, oh man, maybe he's seeing me as, you know, wifey material.
True enough. So I admit it, right? From a guy's perspective, we naive a little bit.
A lot, yeah.
Okay, you want to say a lot bit.
I'm just saying.
But we just we don't always see the clear picture of
and
what's
then y'all don't
place.
believe us when we tell you she feeling you. Oh,
yeah,
we get vibes. We know. It does not matter where we are. We could be in church. Amen.
Really, church
somebody.
Woman? Okay. Hey, that might be a good segment. You want to jump into the letter now because that's kind of feeding into where we at.
Oh, let me see. Let me read this letter. All right, y'all. So send us your perspective on what's going on in your world. If you've had to deal with any of this potential friend, more than friend stuff. But we received a letter. Always feel free to email us your letters, info@fusedmarriages.com. Your letters, your questions, your comments, your concerns, your experiences. All right. So we have the letter of the day. Church pews and connections. Dear Tristin and Michael, I am a 35-year-old male, and I will be marrying the woman of my dreams later this year. We both grew up in the church and have attended all of our lives, which has been a good foundation for our future marriage. However, there is one issue that we are struggling with. My fiance has a problem with me having a few of my longtime church female friends that I talk to in contact with me. She says she would jump at the opportunity to be with me, and she wants me to cut the relationships off completely. I am struggling with that because I have known them for over 20 years, and I don't see a need to cut them off. Please help. Well, that's exactly what we're talking about.
Well.
Talk about it.
Well. So, I mean, he did say that's the woman of his dreams, right?
That's what he said.
So, in the letter says the woman of his dreams, and this woman of his dream is telling him, like, she feel uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. I think the dynamic he's running into is that it's the time aspect of it, right? He's known these young ladies for 20 years. And he's like trying to decipher saying, okay, you know what? I've known her for 20 years, but I'm about to marry the woman of my dreams. And he's almost weighing it out. And I believe in the fiance's mind, she's probably thinking like, hold on, they coming before she is. Mm-hmm. Because if they saying, hey, why come we can't be friends? And she's saying, no, you can't have that. She's saying she's probably figuring out like, hey, they not in the proper place. But from the guy's perspective, I can kind of see what he's kind of actually maybe kind of processing, because I mean, like you said, he grew up in the church. I'm pretty sure they had. I'm guessing now, and they didn't put in the letter, but he hasn't had any physical contact with him in a way that's basically gonna make his integrity look bad if he's gonna continue the relationship. Mm-hmm. So that's my thoughts on it. What you thinking?
Well. It's his fiance already. So it's not somebody that he's just, casually seeing. So he's a little late, in my opinion. He's a little late. We having this conversation. They already engaged. So that's one thing. Another thing is he said he has a problem with me having a few of my longtime female church female friends. Let me tell you, church, okay, church is church. But everybody not all on the same page. We're not all in the same place.
Say it ain't so.
I'm just saying, we're not in the same place all the time. And all of us are trying to get there. But not every woman or man in the church is all the way saved. It's not all the way there.
Hey, the church is a hospital, so you telling the truth?
It's a hospital. We all trying to get healing and help.
Right.
So I think that it's almost a misnomer to say, like, the church as if it means that something is necessarily like, oh, well, they go to church with me. I can't tell y'all how many people before I met my husband I dated, and we would talk about like the spiritual aspect of life, and they'd be like, oh yeah, I go to church, I'm good. Like, okay, can we go a little deeper maybe? Right. So I think I think that it could be dangerous. It could be. I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. It could be a dangerous situation because those few female friends, that could get catty. Like, why you got so many female friends? Where are the dudes? Where are the brothers at the church? Who else you got friends with? So I don't know about that.
I think an important thing that's not in the letter, but maybe could consider to talk about is about, really the depth of communication with the people, the females he's trying to continue a relationship with. If it's something like, hey, when I see them at church, I speak, and that's the extent of it. That could be one situation, right? I know them 20 years. When I see them, I say hello and go about my business. Or is he talking about, hey, I got these friends that we know we go hang out. I want them to come over for dinner.
That's different.
They know my mama and them. You know what I mean? They all in my other business outside of even my relationship. And they probably maybe know more about my family and my connections than my new woman do.
Yeah.
That's going to be a little awkward, right?
Yeah.
That's going to be a little awkward. So in some way, he got to make his woman feel comfortable, either by saying, hey, this is all it is. I speak to them at church and that's it. Or, you know what? I'm at the back of you, right? I need to back up because we got too much interaction.
I was thinking about this the other day too. Once you get married, all of your relationships are going to change. I remember before I got married, I had a group of single friends, and it would say like, I don't understand why people get married and they disappear. I just don't get that. Like, why do they just like go and hover with their new boo? And the truth of the matter is that's not really what you're doing. Like, you love your new spouse and all that, but really the time away is because you're like, you have to readjust some things. You have to reevaluate some things. And it's not your friendships. It's every other aspect of life. Like, you still love and care about your friends, but their position and your life might change, male or female. So I don't know that is understood, but I also wanted to bring something else to this conversation. Now, I have a thought about this, but I want to hear yours.
Talk about it.
Does it matter if the friend is also married or in a relationship?
That's a question for me.
Mm-hmm. If the other, so you're the friend,
Okay.
or you're the one getting married.
So it's me and we dating.
You're a new person.
New person.
And you have a female friend.
Okay.
But she's in a relationship. Does
Okay.
that matter?
Man, no, honestly, I don't think it matters. Because you know what? We were watching a show on the OWN channel about a couple that got together. I don't know if you remember.
I don't, but go
It was
ahead.
Black Love. It was Beyonce's mama and that actor.
Okay. Yo, look, Lord Jesus.
All right.
He's going to call.
And you know what? And she was saying that, you know what? Before she got divorced from Beyonce daddy, Matthew Knowles, she said the two families, they would always hang out.
That's true.
And she said they were kind of looking at each other, but never knew they could like go to that level because they both were married. So like with that,
That's
you know
so
what I
shady.
mean?
I'm
No,
sorry.
it's just
That's
that's
not
real
right.
life. That happens. So two people, regardless if they're married or not, you can still get like the connection can still be to a level where it can be like, hold on, y'all just waiting for the right opportunity to kind of like, you know what I mean, to get together.
But you can't be looking at somebody else's spouse like, if I weren't with mine, I'd be with. That's not
It's not right, but it happened. The question was, you know what I mean,
That's
if the
true.
other person was married, does it matter? I think it still matters, right? You still got to have like a boundary line of saying, okay, you ain't just gonna be calling my wife up, you know what I mean, and I'm not home, or you ain't come by the house if I'm not home. So if I got a boy, right, and we cool, we tight, this, that, and the other, and me and him did each other, but he's kind of cool with you a little bit too. I can't have him like, okay, he gonna call the house looking for me and I'm not there, or come by the house looking for me and I'm not there. That's just how I would roll. I don't think that line should be crossed. Like that's a boundary for me.
See, before you said that example, I would say that it mattered. You know, like, oh, well, yeah, they're in another relationship. They're otherwise occupied. Like, we can be couple friends. But now that you gave that, that's going to make me kind of reconsider. But I also think that if the couples are friends, you know, and you have some, like what you said, some boundaries within that. And I think some of those should be understood. And if they're not understood and the relationship or the individuals are immature, like in that way, then that's a dangerous friendship to maintain.
Right. And I just think, you know, you talk about the whole couple friends. Only thing I need to do and know is this right here. If we, I'm thinking about something for sure.
Okay, go.
I'm thinking if we couple friends and we greet each other, you know what? Me and you, we couple friends. We got another male, female couple friends.
I already know where you're going. Okay.
Hold on. Okay, let me get there then. Let me get there. All I know is this. The way he hug you, my dude friend, he better hug me the same way. So if he hug you real tight, chest to chest, you know what? We better be hugging. So like the fact that we don't do that as men, so he better not hug you like that.
Yeah.
It's just a level of space and respect that come with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I'm not going to go hug another man's woman. I don't care how close of friends we are.
You can do the side hug.
I would do the side hug because that's a little too friendly. You know what I mean? People say, oh, we friends that don't really matter. But that do matter.
Cultural things.
Because you know what? We could be going through something.
Kiss.
We could be going through something, right? And then another dude hug you, like, oh, okay. You kind of in your mind and your inside, you thinking like, man, I needed that.
That feels good.
That feels good. And vice versa. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We might be going a little spat, you know what I mean? We might have had a little round before we got to where we're going to in the car.
That hug
Mad.
I really don't like.
What's
is
that?
that hug when people hug you and then they pat you? That's the worst. Yeah. They hug you and then they pat your back. You know,
the sign of endearment right there. They just
know
let
about
me.
that.
Yeah, I don't
or
know
if I see somebody hug you and they like rub on your back a little bit, she might not make it.
Yeah, can't rub. Yeah, that's uncomfortable.
Or like when they slide their hand down your arm, like, "How you doing? I haven't seen."
So is that too friendly?
That's too girl.
That's too friendly.
That girl, she pull that hand back. Might not come back with all your fingers. He'd be rubbing down my husband's arm and stuff. He work out.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Anyway, all right. Let me move on before I start getting hot.
Yeah. Hey.
All right. So here's the next question. Can you be friends with an ex? Wow. Can you be friends with an ex? Just, friends with an ex. We want to hear from y'all. So make sure that you email us, that you connect with us on your social media. We want to hear what you have to say about this. Can you be friends with an ex? Can you be friends with an ex? Email us info@fusedmarriages.com or hit us up on any of our social media platforms. All right, Michael, let me hear what you got to say.
I think that guys have a bad case of this. I'm not sure if females do. You can kind of talk from that perspective, but
No,
typically, I can say, I mean, maybe not every guy, but like when we break up with a female, you know what I mean? We kind of keep them still at least in the catalog, in the phone book. You know what I mean? We can still call them every now and again. Just see, we call it checking in on them. You know what I mean? Just see what's going on, see how they doing. And like ends up really giving that woman some kind of hope that something's going to maybe materialize later. But really, we just kind of like, hey, we may be bored. You know what I mean? One just don't want to be alone. And we still just call them, just kind of keep that friendship open like that. Should that be the case and where we should keep them in that? We probably shouldn't, because really
wait, back up. So is this, the catalog, is this like exes that you were married to at one time, or exes that you dated long term, or exes that you just hit it, like you just slept together? Like who, where is this catalog? Who's in this catalog?
Well, hold on.
Yeah, back that up. We need to know.
It depends how bad the relationship was, right? So
how bad, okay.
How bad it went, right? And how bad the breakup was, where they just like, oh man, I'm tired of them. I don't want to do nothing with them. But most cases, we don't pick when we just kind of get tired. We just, we get tired for that moment, right? But like, we ultimately just kind of keep them, like you said, like I've been saying, on the peripheral really of our lives without having to go like full in. We don't want the full commitment. So we still kind of just keep them on the outside and deal with them whenever we feel like it. Right? They may cook for us. They may go to the movie with us. May go to the game with us. I mean, they may even come over to the family picnic.
What makes them an ex if you still you doing all this stuff with them?
Because we're making some ex from a man perspective is that there's no expectation, right? There ain't no expectation that
so you can get everything you want and not have to give anything. I'm
just telling you how it works. I didn't make the rules up. This is what it is.
All right.
So it happens like that. Is it wrong? You're absolutely right. It probably should not be done like that.
Probably.
Well, I'm saying it shouldn't be done. Let me rephrase it then. It should not be done like that.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so we end up keeping on the outside. So it could be an ex. Typically, it's not an ex-spouse. It's more like, okay, you know what?
Because that's just...
Yeah, that may be, we probably went through some things, lawyers got involved and all that. So we like, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. We good. You know what I mean? We good.
There's other fish.
We good. It's the other exes that I'm talking about.
Okay.
So that's how I see it from a man. We gotta figure out, you know what I mean, of really just cutting that relationship off, so that then we can end up exploring the new relationship. But a lot of times we got a lot of time to kind of really like build those kind of like false relationships and really don't sever them in the right way. So when we get a new person, it takes time to really kind of like, okay, I got to go cut that off now. And the person you're dealing with may not want that, right? They may want to say, okay, what's wrong? Like you said, they made a female be like, hey, you can't have a friend?
I think you've actually heard that said to you.
Yeah.
Your girl won't let you have no friends.
Man, I'm not speaking on that. I plead the fifth.
It was real. Like, no. Apparently, no, he can't. I guess.
Yeah,
that's how you won't see it. No, you that friend he can't.
Yeah, the answer is no to that.
So I think it might depend on like the level of heart that was engaged in that. At least from my perspective, ladies, I'd love to hear from y'all because not everybody is the same. But how much emotional energy did you put into that relationship, and how long was that relationship going? If it was like, oh man, we were friends, we dated for like a couple weeks, we saw this was not going to be anything more than friends, so we decided to just stay friends. I don't know that's that bad,
Right.
I don't,
right.
And the level of physical intimacy. I remember one time you said that you dream in color. Where you
going? Come
on. I'm just saying, like, okay, how far did y'all go? Did you kiss? Okay, that's one thing. Did y'all just like touch?
So was kissing, is that too far? Is that too far? That means if we just kissed, never dated, but I kissed her.
Well, what do you mean you never dated, but you kissed?
Like, might have had a moment. You know what I mean? Just some, And
then y'all just returned.
The moon was out that night or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Is that too far? Can I not have a friendship with that person?
I think a kiss, you can get over a kiss.
Really? If you know it and you say, okay. I'm surprised you said that.
Yeah.
I didn't think you would say that.
I'm thinking through it. Look, if you like been with my man in the way I'm with my man, y'all can't No, you can't. I can't have you looking at him and remembering.
If
That's
you
a-
kiss somebody and I know about it and y'all friends, that's a wrap. No, y'all can't be friends.
Yeah.
I can't find out about that and then y'all talking about y'all still friends and you just kissed somebody. It was when we was in the 5th grade. It don't even matter.
5th grade.
It don't even matter. No, it don't matter.
Yeah, but I think as you progress in that relationship, the length of time, the level of intimacy physically and emotionally, I don't think you can just return to a friendship and then expect your new person to be like, oh, okay, that's cool. I just don't.
Yeah.
And then it also might depend on the length of time since that relationship. Like you said, the 5th grade, like.
Well, maybe
I don't
not
know.
the 5th grade. Maybe a little, much,
And
but
like, because I think the win. So if that was like, here we're gonna jump all the way in. If that was the first person you've ever been with, and then you saying, "Oh man, we just friends now. Yeah, we just experimented
Mhm.
back in whenever." No.
So you 16, you had your first, and everybody didn't kind of know. Now everybody's grown, 30 plus year
No.
old. That's a no. It's a
No.
wrap. Okay, that's cool. I believe that. I'm with you on that too.
Mm-mm. And I think it also depends on going back to the kiss. What kind of kiss? If this was like my little first peck, you can't be like tonguing people down and all feeling and getting hot and heavy, and then being like, "Oh yeah, it was just a kiss. It was not just a kiss."
Mm-hmm.
Somebody felt something on the other side of that kiss.
Okay.
So one of you might have just been like a little hot and heated, and the other person was like, "This is the one." I'm not saying which gender
Right,
said
right.
that, but that's just, I don't know. So I'm curious what y'all think, because it's Michael and I here kind of talking through some things.
Yeah, hit us up. Let us know.
Let us know. Let's talk about it. info@fusedmarriages.com. Being friends with an ex. I don't know about that one. All right. So one more question for you. Now, we talked about the ex. And we talked about the total platonic friends.
Right.
What about if it was an almost? Like they didn't
define
quite make
almost.
it.
It's just define it. Somebody talking about the same thing. Define what's almost for you.
Like it was, we might have gone out on a date, but we didn't kiss, we didn't do anything. We were just kind of feeling our way through. Could it possibly be? We were friends at first, or maybe we were introduced by a friend of a friend, and we tried to test it out, and it was like, oh man, no, but they real cool. I like hanging out with them. They real cool.
See, this may be weird. As you were saying that, I was thinking, I'm like, I would actually be probably okay with that.
Okay.
Right? Because, we grown. People are dating, just trying to figure out. Nothing really happened, right? You kind of went out on a date. Maybe just the energy wasn't there. The vibe wasn't there. And that, you know what? That you can't just say, okay, you can't talk to everybody you talk to.
I agree.
That might be a little much, right?
I agree.
Might be a little much. So I probably would pull back and say, okay, as long as ain't no I don't sense no chemistry, you kind of give me the confidence. But hey, it's just I can sense it. Hey,
smell it out.
I try to smell it. I'm looking at how he looking at you. You know what I mean? He looking at you. What you looking at first? If you looking at your legs first, it's a problem.
Oh Lord.
You better look at you in the eyes only.
Eyes only.
When I meet and we see each other, you better not glance down. He better look straight at you. Straight dead on. That's it. Otherwise, hold on, man. I smell chemistry.
Chemistry.
And maybe it's a one-way chemistry, but anyway. So, if the situation, as long as it's not anything like that, right, where it's just like, I'm feeling like, okay, this guy's trying to get at my woman. Mm-hmm. She just rejected him. He's still trying to, poke and prod. Mm-hmm. If it ain't that, then I'll be actually be cool. I'll be kind of, okay, you know what? She's grown. She's been dating. She's been trying to figure out, what's the best for her. That person wasn't, a situation that worked out. You know what I mean? There wasn't anything physical that happened. Then, okay, you know what? Life kind of moves on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, hey, we went out and we just found out we were going to be just better friends. I think I'm okay with that. Mm-hmm. I think I'm okay.
You think
with
I'm for real? Okay.
Yeah, you start bringing people up, Michael. What's going to be a problem?
Put me in that situation and tell me what you would do.
Okay, let me see. Michael had a friend.
I dated somebody. Went out on some dates.
But you just went on some dates. How many dates y'all go on?
Let's say went out on 3 or 4 dates.
Okay, you went out on 3 or 4. Never kissed.
Never kissed.
Never holding hands.
Never held hands.
Touched.
None of that.
So y'all just talking about life?
Yep.
Just talking about life. Y'all, I have to think this through because I don't know. I think I would still be okay. Hey, we went out to dinner. Nothing There wasn't any. Now, if you tell me there was a little spark or something we wanted to explore, no.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a spark, there's a fire. No.
Okay.
But if y'all like, nah, we just found out we cool,
Okay.
then I'm fine with that.
You
Now, if
be
she
good.
responds to me differently, because that could be your perspective. Now, if she's like, we went out on a few
I'm
dates.
struggling believing you on that, be honest with you.
You might be.
I'm
struggling believing
struggling
me.
wrapping my mind saying, you know what? I went on some dates with her, but I'm going to be cool with her.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm struggling with that. Not saying it ain't true what you saying. I'm not
But it's
saying
not
I'm
true.
not
trying to think,
saying
if
what you ain't saying
if you
ain't
went
true.
on a couple dates with somebody, there was nothing that happened.
Yeah,
I think it would have to be the vibe that I got from her.
Okay,
I think
that's fair.
I think
That's
it would.
fair.
If I got the vibe that like, oh hey Tristan,
Right.
oh I'm so glad to meet you. But if I got like, oh hey, nice to meet you. Oh okay, she wanted something else.
Okay.
But if it was really like, oh man, we met because you have a friend like that.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
And you see, Michael's had a couple friends that I was like,
Hey, hold on now.
Not
why
like
you gonna
he
put-
not
Oh,
out
my God.
here like doing the most, but you've had like a couple of female friends that I've met that I'm like, oh my gosh, they're really nice,
Right.
Like, and they're really cool, and they never gave me any bad vibes, never.
But there's been a few some gave you some bad vibes. There's been a few
Yeah.
that gave you like, you're like,
Yeah.
I cut them off though.
They had to go.
It was a little.
You had friends that straight up told me like, I met.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't know they was
Rude.
gonna be that way.
I told you, I was like, I don't know
But,
about
yeah.
her. She giving me some energy,
Yeah.
and then when you had to like witness it, and then
Yeah,
you were
I seen
like,
it.
oh,
I seen it.
And fellas, don't wait to witness somebody being, because that can cause some problems. It caused some problems, didn't it?
It did.
It caused some
It
problems.
did.
Don't wait to
You had to
witness.
get
If your
that straight,
girl
but yeah,
is
it did.
saying, hey, she is not now, girl, you can't just be like out here just her and her. Like, if you get a feeling, be honest with your dude about it. But fellas, listen to your woman if she gets a feeling. Like say, I'm not sure, something about this is making me uncomfortable. Pay attention, because you could lose that one over some friend who you have in a friend category, and she's
Right.
wanting to be out of the friend category, which
Well-
was my husband's issue.
Yeah.
She did not want to be in the friend category.
I didn't know that though.
I
didn't
knew.
know that. You knew it. Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair.
I knew straight up at the beginning.
That's
and
fair.
then later, she gonna send him an email talking about he's cute. This is years.
Yeah.
Ladies.
Yeah, protect your marriage.
Protect it.
Protect your relationship. Gotta protect it.
And you have to also know, like, what your partner feels about having somebody in a, in a category.
Yeah.
You have to really have that conversation, because these are important conversations to have. You might think that they're a friend and that they're just cool, and if they're making your person feel uncomfortable, you need to pick which one's most important. Is my new person, is the person that I really want to spend my time in my life with, more important than this relationship.
That's a good word.
And you can also make somebody feel more secure too.
That's true.
Like if you just have all these girls' numbers in your phone that your woman doesn't have access to, doesn't know who they are, doesn't know how you met them. If you have Facebook friends that you talking to, or social media friends, and she doesn't know anything about them, she's going to feel insecure. She's going to feel uncomfortable. And let me bring this point up in this before we close out this segment. If you have a history of infidelity, or you have any cheating in your past, either partner, you have to work extra hard to make them feel more secure. So if you have messed up in the past, maybe y'all broke up, you did something, you had to come back and tell her, hey, this is what happened, or you didn't break up, it happened within the relationship, you have to do what it takes. If you want to keep that relationship, you want to keep that marriage, you want to pursue a future, you have to do what it takes. And if it means, hey, I got to cut some people off, you got to cut some people off, because you have to restore the trust in that relationship.
Well, love it.
So anyway, we want to know you guys what you think. And we just appreciate you guys for tuning in today. So a lot of this conversation has a lot to do with trust, making sure that you have a good foundation of trust and that your partner feels safe and secure. So that is it for today. Thank you all for joining us. Make sure you connect with us on all of our social media platforms. Check out our website for more content and resources, fusedmarriages.com. Let's talk about it.
You're listening to Fused with Tristin and Michael.